Child, please. Okay, so Dr. Umar Johnson is 50 years old. He's got two kids by two different baby mamas, and he has never been married. Now he's in the news again because he got on Instagram telling everyone that this young lady named Siobhan Stone, aka Lene Stacks, is trying to come after him and ruin his reputation. He accuses this woman of entering his personal space and the personal space of his mother, who is sick and vulnerable. He said that he paid Siobhan Stone or Lene Stacks to take care of his mother, who is sick and vulnerable and needs a caregiver. And while she was in his mother's environment, she apparently stole some pertinent information like bank account information, um, for that school that he's supposed to open, and his personal bank account information, among other things, personal stuff in general. He says that this woman is a throat goat, a jump off, and a random. He says that this woman, he dealt with this woman for 2.5 years, and they discussed marriage and love and other sexual things. They had 3 intimate encounters, and he said during those intimate encounters, she, like, her pH balance was off. She smelled really, really bad down below. Her lady parts sounded like it smelled really, really bad. He says she has a whole fish aquarium down there. She has salmon. She has whiting. She has tilapia. She has crabs, oysters, everything under the sea. And he said every funky creature under the sea is what is his words, and that she stinks real bad. I don't really know what exactly this is supposed to do, if this is supposed to prove something, because as a public figure, he is out in the public eye. He's written books. He's like a published author. He's made countless speaking engagements. He's a public figure, and he is supposed to be this highly educated Black man who is a social justice activist. I guess that's what he is. He really comes off us like a grifter, honestly. It's hard to take him seriously. It's like he won't pick a lane. It's like, I don't know what it is, but he wants to dip in and out of the lane of degeneracy or the hood lane. And then other times he wants to be this educated, accomplished activist. On the other hand, he wants the respect from both sides. And I really wish he would just pick a side and decide what he wants to do and what he wants to be. He looks up to Marcus Garvey a lot. Like he patterns his activism behind Marcus Garvey's activism. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because Marcus Garvey was able to accomplish a lot of phenomenal things for his time. I mean, he accomplished a lot. And I watched the Marcus Garvey documentary. I was in awe. However, Dr. Umar Johnson speaks highly of Marcus Garvey, as does a lot of people in the Black community, including myself. That is a very impressive individual. But Dr. Umar is educated to a point. He knows some historical facts. He has written a couple of books. Some interviews he has gotten things wrong. For instance, a Breakfast Club interview he did some years back, where he was talking about the Chinese presence in South Africa and different parts of Africa, and their role as economic partners to some African countries, and in regards to their utilizing the resources over there. And he told some falsehoods, and people were calling him out in the comments regarding the Mandarin language. He tried to frame it as if the Chinese were colonizers in South Africa in particular, and was attempting to make Mandarin the primary language spoken in South Africa, when that is not true. There are 11 different languages that are commonly spoken over there, I believe, and I'm just going off the top of my head of what I can remember. And there were people in the comments checking him, telling him he was lying. And so he's educated to a point, I guess. I mean, He's managed to make a name for himself and he speaks very well, but I mean, his lifestyle does not reflect Marcus Garvey's lifestyle. He does have two children by two different baby mamas, but he has not married either one of them. Marcus Garvey was married to both of his children's mothers. He was married and divorced from his first wife, and then he remarried again to a woman who continued to tried to keep his legacy alive after he passed away. So my question to Umar Johnson is, why don't you do the respectable thing as a 50-year-old man instead of trying to be ghetto and ratchet and getting out here just slinging dick around, just sleeping with random women who you have not vetted, who you are not really trying to commit to? Why don't you just get married and just do the respectable thing and stay with one woman and get all your needs fulfilled and get a woman who's going to like who's on the same page as you, who feels the same way, as passionate about activism as you are, who's on the same page as you are, who has the same goals and the same dreams and the same outlook, and who works very hard to make those visions a reality. Why don't you get with a woman like that? Since all of these black women are queens and they're worthy of all these great things, why haven't you married anyone in the black community? You keep fooling around with like these randoms, and of all people, and like in hotels, and if all things, you bring the random to your home environment and into your mother's home environment, and then act surprised if she took things or looked at some personal information, stole money. You act surprised. As a public figure, you're not moving smart at all. You're not protecting yourself at all. You're being very messy and very reckless for somebody who's supposed to be a public figure. Why not just marry one woman and have that woman manage your personal affairs and your business affairs? Why don't you enter into a partnership with a woman, a healthy, mentally, physically, financially healthy woman that you can grow with, and then you guys can implement your vision and make your visions a reality? Why not do it that way? All the other greats before you have done it that way. You're not even living a respectable lifestyle. And that's what's wrong with the black community right now, because the black community wants to hold on to some level of degeneracy just to have respect from other black people. And that's the problem. That's the problem, because you, like, as a community, the black community doesn't want to completely just disassociate itself from the degeneracy of the black community. It's like the most degenerate individuals, the loudest individuals, are the ones that are exalted and that are more respected, that get the most accolades, that get the most praise. And it's disgraceful, because it shows that you don't really believe what you preach. You don't really believe in black love for real. You don't really believe in the family structure or the family unit. You don't really believe that black women are queens like you say you are, because if you did, you would not go around using black women for sex. You would go and find someone who was who matched your energy, who matched your education, who matched your experience, and you would couple with that woman and vet her first, and then court her properly, and then marry her and stick with one woman. You keep having these random encounters with women from the hood or strippers or whatever. And from these encounters, women take pictures so that they may have receipts, pictures of your personal information, pictures of you, video that maybe they have snuck and taken without you knowing, or something, pictures of your home environment, so they will have proof that they had these encounters with you. And in turn, it just diminishes your credibility and it affects your brand. And nobody takes you seriously. And these are, I mean, you really want to build a school and have people come and enroll their small children, their elementary, in an elementary school at an elementary age, the 4-year-olds, the 5-year-olds. You think that you have the credibility to steward children that small with the lifestyle you're living? It's absolutely disgraceful. Like, why don't you pick a lane? Pick a educated lane, pick the respectable lane, or pick the degenerate lane and the pookie lane. Which do you want to be? Do you want to be a respected public figure, a respected social justice activist, or do you want to be a pookie? You keep zipping in and out of these lanes, and it really makes you as a person and black activism as a whole look like a joke. And let's not even get into the vision that you have for the school that you want to build. Like, this was 10 years ago, over 10 years ago. You raised $200,000 off of donations alone. As far as I know, I guess you have speaking engagements and books and stuff. I don't know what his income is, whether or not he's able to support himself, but it looks more and more like that this dream of him having a school is becoming more and more unlikely, because instead of, like, he has this huge vision that he wants this huge campus made up of 3 or 4 tall buildings, built on like hundreds of acreage of land, and he was disappointed when he only raised $200,000 because he said it was not enough money to build that large school that he wanted back in the day. So the vision was for him to create like a boarding school situation, so where parents would, they would enroll their children and they would drop them off, and children would actually like sleep there and have all their meals there, and he would steward them in a way that he wanted them to be brought up or influenced. He wanted them to wear a certain kind of uniform. He wanted them to have only certain kinds of like Pan-Africanism or Pan-Africanist based curriculum. He only wanted them to be taught that. He wanted them to eat a certain way, go to sleep at a certain time. He said the parents were not capable of raising their kids properly in that way. So he wanted to be the one to essentially raise these students up to be what he wants them to be, or what he envisions them to be. And he was upset with his donator, the people that donated the money, his fans or whoever. He was upset because he only raised like $200,000, and he knew that that wasn't enough money to pay the kind of teachers and to get the school up and going. Like I said, instead of him just starting off small, with a small building, a couple of teachers, maybe someone to do the administrative work, maybe he pitched in and did it himself, he could have gotten a school up and running just to do a trial run, and then he could have just gradually grew from there. But he wanted to start out really, really big, and now there's no school at all. People who donated all that money are out of their money, and they're wondering and demanding accountability from him, because they want to know what happened to their money. If he did not use it to open the school, what did he use it for? And they want transparency, they want financial statements and all of that, which they, as they should. But I don't know. Dr. Umar just moves just like a dusty. I don't know. I used to have some kind of admiration for him back in the day, but over the years, his credibility it's just not there. I don't know. He's just so dusty, and he needs to do better, especially if he wants to be a respected public figure within the black community. He needs to move better. So let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time.